And our word for today on this Wednesday of Holy Week, this Wednesday, March the 27th, our word for today is broken. Broken, our word today, our word for today, and here to talk about it, Deacon Dan Brahier. Good morning, Deacon Dan.
Good morning, Dave. Good morning, Ron. Happy Holy Week.
Yeah,
to
good
you
morning.
as well.
It's great to see you
Thank
at the
you.
fish fry at St. Rose on Friday, too.
Well, thank you. It was great to be there. And, you know, the fish fry on Friday and the Chrism Mass yesterday, it all just kind of is crescendoing up here toward Easter.
Mm-hmm.
So I was actually thinking about when you were talking earlier about the song Why by Michael Card.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites. I actually have a Lenten playlist I have on my phone that I listen to throughout Lent.
Oh.
And Why is one of the songs on there, and I love that song.
Yeah, I encourage people to take a listen to that on YouTube or wherever you might find it, but I know it's on YouTube, Michael Card, Why.
Yeah, excellent song. By the way, here's a trivia question for the morning.
Okay.
Who wrote A Boy Named Sue?
Was it Johnny Cash didn't write it?
No, Johnny Cash sang it.
Then I would say Waylon Jennings.
Good guess. Shel Silverstein.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, how odd is that? Anyway, trivia point. Big Johnny Cash fan growing up, so I was just kind of resonating there.
That sounds like Shel Silverstein. It really does.
It actually does. Yeah, exactly. That's the way he writes. So the word broken, I actually saw a social media post one time several years ago where the person was so devastated of something that happened in their lives that she said, "I am beyond broken." And it actually resulted in a song that I wrote, ironically, where in the title of the song is Beyond Broken. A person starts out kind of beyond broken, as in even worse than broken, but the person evolves into someone who is beyond broken, meaning I'm past being broken now. And so we think about that word broken. It generally implies some kind of separation, sadness, discouragement, maybe even a devastation. So when a person loses a loved one or a relationship falls apart, that person could be said to be broken. They're really sad. They're really devastated. And I would like to think about framing today, tomorrow, and Friday around three examples of broken that come into the Gospels. So today in the Gospel, Jesus clearly knows that someone's about to betray him. He knows that it's Judas, and it says in the Gospel that he was deeply distressed. His heart is broken. And after all the time and energy he's put into his ministry, one of his 12 closest friends is going to take a few pieces of silver in exchange for his life. In fact, these precious metal experts say that in today's dollars, it would have been about $250. So Judas sold out Jesus for $250.
Wow.
So later, Jesus is going to be in the Garden of Gethsemane, and in Matthew's Gospel, as it continues, he will say, "My soul is sorrowful even to death." And some Bibles are translate that to, "My heart is nearly broken." So that's why Psalm 69 that we hear today says, "Insult has broken my heart, and I am weak." And it goes on to talk about putting gall in his food and vinegar to drink, and it prefigures Jesus' death on the cross. Now, the good news here is that other Psalms kind of come back to that, like Psalm 34, verse 19 says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted, and he saves those whose spirit is crushed." So that's kind of the image in today's reading. Jesus' spirit is crushed. So that's Wednesday, Spy Wednesday. On Holy Thursday, tomorrow, what's going to happen? Jesus will offer the Last Supper, and he's going to take the bread and he's going to break it. Why? As a symbol of his brokenness at that hour and of the day to come. And so for the next 2,000 years, the bread is always broken by the priest at Mass before Holy Communion to remind us of that brokenness of Christ. And that's how the two men on the road to Emmaus, remember, recognized Jesus. They recognized him in the breaking of the bread. So Spy Wednesday, Jesus' heart is broken. Holy Thursday, he breaks the bread. What happens the next day on Good Friday? Jesus' physical body is going to be broken. He'll be slapped, spit upon, mocked, punched, scourged, and made to carry his own cross until his body is physically broken. So it seems to be kind of a theme that spreads across the 3 days here as we work our way toward Holy Saturday and the Easter Vigil and all. Ultimately, as always, God wins. And And so Jesus is resurrected on each Easter. But in the meantime, as we go through these next 3 days, we experience Holy Week with him as we see his heart broken today, the bread broken tomorrow, and his body broken on Friday. And so that's a theme that runs through the entire 3-day length of time.
That is so powerful as we look toward the resurrection when he breaks the bonds of death.
Exactly, and that's a good point, because that is that's the final breaking, right? That he's able to he descends into hell and he frees the righteous dead, and he takes them to heaven. He breaks the bonds of death, and he breaks all of the powers, right? He overcomes sin, death, the devil. All of that is broken in a good way on Easter.
Beautiful. Deacon Dan Brahier, you've really knocked it out of the park today.
Well, thank you. It was so good talking to you. I wish you the best. I wish all of the listeners a happy Holy Week, a blessed Easter, and Easter season as we've finally gotten to the end of this Lenten journey.
All right, thank you so much, and have a wonderful day and rest of the Holy Week for you. I know you're going to be busy.
Yes, it will be a busy one.
Yes. All right, thanks for joining us for Morning Offering for the Wednesday edition. God willing, we'll be back here on Holy Thursday tomorrow.